How you doing, House Edge? Welcome back to another week of football and college picks. We're doing separate episodes because we are in separate places this week. Shout out to Rob for editing both. Um, I finally hit a parlay last week, first one, which put us up units on the week. The straight picks did not fare as well, but get back on track this week. Starting off with NFL Week 7. My straight plays, I'm going to be taking the Patriots plus 5.5 against the Jags. I don't think the Jags are this much better than the Patriots, especially with Drake May at QB. I mean, his second game, he might show some things that we didn't, get the jitters out from the first game. And just a point on this game, why are we putting the UK viewers through this? Why do we keep making them watch the Jacksonville Jaguars week after week? I mean, it's honestly mean to them. We're putting literally our two worst teams, the Patriots and the Jaguars, across the pond to play in front of them. It's whatever. I mean, next up, I'm going to take the Giants plus 3 against the Eagles. I think the Giants secondary is still very good. They shut down Joey B last week, even though the Bengals got the win. Games in New York, they care about this game, and they're going to want to get a win after losing last week. I mean, the NFC East is pretty wide open with the Cowboys and Eagles playing the way they are this year. The Giants have a chance if they can pull it together. Next, I'm taking the Lions plus 2.5 against the Vikings. I think this is where the Vikings Cinderella story starts to falter a little bit. They'll pick up their first loss. I think the Lions are a better team, and even if they do lose, I don't think it's going to be by very many points. So plus 2.5, I'll take that. And last, Bucks Ravens over 48.5. The Ravens and Commanders just went for 53. I think the Baker Mayfield Bucks are just as good. I think they put up 51 points themselves last week. So I think it was 44 points on offense, 7 points on defense. But anyway, 48.5 for these two teams. The offenses are too high powered. They should hit this number. Moving on to my parlay. Finally hit a NFL moneyline parlay last week, and I'm going to stick to another 4-leg moneyline parlay. Colts over the Dolphins. Dolphins are in shambles. Bengals over the Browns. Browns are probably the worst team in the NFL. They're the only team not to put up 20 points so far. Embarrassing. Falcons over the Seahawks. The Seahawks got a bunch of cupcake wins the first few weeks, and now they're coming back to reality and playing good teams. They'll be 3-4. And Commanders over the Panthers. So I'm just pretty much betting against bad teams with these picks. Plus 372. Hope it cashes. Of college football picks. This is week 8 for my picks. Me and Rob are separate again this week. For my straight plays, I'm going to be taking Illinois plus 3.5 against Michigan. Too many points. Anything above 3, I would take it against Michigan. And if they win, I think it'll be a pretty close game. Illinois is a good team. They have a good quarterback there, and they gave Penn State some trouble. Next up, I'm sticking in the Big Ten. Iowa, 5.5 favorites over Michigan State. I think there's just a pretty large gap between Iowa and Michigan State, and I guess it's Michigan hate week 2 with taking my first 2 bets against Michigan and Michigan State. Iowa destroyed Washington last week. They got destroyed by Ohio State the week before, but Michigan State is a team that's worse than Washington in my book, so I expect Iowa to handle business. And last, I'm going to be taking the Texas Longhorns 3.5-point favorites over UGA. They're the best team in college football. UGA just gave up 31 points to, I believe it was a Mississippi State offense. That's absolutely embarrassing. Texas will rip them to shreds. 3.5 points, not near enough for what I expect this to be. I think it's going to be closer to 10. And for my parlay, lastly, I'm going to be taking Duke moneyline over FSU. It's just everyone over FSU this year. BYU over Oklahoma State. They're doing some good things over at BYU. And Indiana over Nebraska, third pick. Indiana's undefeated. I think they're one of the middle of the pack undefeated teams. We need to see them play against good teams. Nebraska is not one of them. They'll beat Nebraska. And last, Kansas State over West Virginia. That's just the ranked team against the not very good West Virginia team who's been a little bit overrated, especially you saw week 1 against Penn State. That puts me at plus 413. I want to cash my first college football parlay of the year. Not been going well, but maybe we'll get back on track. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Good luck with your bets.